Good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. So in what has become an annual tradition, on the first, talking is an annual tradition. It's a weekly tradition. There's nice energy in the room this morning. So this opening song has become an annual tradition on the first Sunday of the year. So it's Ring Out Wild Bells, and we're going to include some bell ringing. And we're going to start for group one with the quietest bells. And here's the super quietest one. It's sort of a magic wand of sorts. So there's this, and Toby's got some others. So who would like to play some of these bells? Oh. So these coming out, these are group one bells. If you're interested in the bell, hold up your hand, and Toby will come around. We'll spread them around the room. This is group one. This is group one. These are the quietest bells. So let's see. Who are group one bell folks? Who's got bells right now? You're group one. So when we get to the refrain and I hold up finger one, you're going to play. And you play every time we get to the refrain after that, right? So you get to play all 4 times. Here's group number 2. These are a little bit louder bells, and you don't have to play them loud, but who would be interested in these bells? Raise your hand and Carol will come bring them to you. This is group 2. These are group 2 bells. We'll spread them around the room. And if you kind of demonstrate each one. Okay, they're getting bigger. So that's group 2. Group 2, you play when we get to 2 and after that. Okay, here's group 3. Renee's got her hand up and ready for those. This is group 3 bells. Yep, cowbells. All right, and there's one more set, and that's group 4, and you'll need to travel for this, but 2 people. I've got some wind chimes up here, and then some bar chimes. So, Christy, you want to be wind chimes? And somebody to play the bar chimes? You just run your fingers across them? Yeah, okay. So let's practice. So group 1 bells, here we go. Let's hear your sound. You're going to ring your bells, group 1. And so you hit it, you hold the other end. Hold the other end. Here's group 1 bells. Yep, and then just hit it on your hand. Yep. Here's group 1 bells. Let's hear. Okay, let's hear group 2 bells. Group 2. Group 3, just group 3 right now. And group 4. So Christy, if you grab the thing down below, yeah. There you go. If you yank the chain. There we go. Okay, so let's practice just we're almost there. Just group 1. Just group 1. Group 1 and 2. Group 1 and 2 and 3. And group 1, 2, 3 and 4. We are ready. Okay. So I'll show you when. I'll show you fingers, right, for when. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit, and we will all sing.
Ring out wild bells to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out
Good morning. Good morning. As we ring in this service, now would be a perfect time to silence our cell phones that are ringing, so that our ringing may be intentional. We continue with a reminder of the history of this land upon which we meet. We place this basket of black oak acorns on our altar in acknowledgement of the indigenous people, the Nisenan, who never ceded, never yielded their land. Here at the edge of the new year, I invite you to say a brief hello and give a greeting and a warm welcome to the people around you, making sure that everyone is greeted. I'm not sure how it goes. It will just happen.
Good morning. I'm Jim Bear, and I have the honor of reading the following. It's a covenant by James Villa Blake, and this covenant is used by numerous Universalist Unitarian churches around the country, probably the world. Love is the spirit of this church, and its service is law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
And now we'll sing the children on their way.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of the mountains, and welcome to the first service of this new year. I'm Cheryl Morris, serving as worship associate along with Carol, Nimick, and Tracy Pepper. If you're thinking, it takes 3 of them to fill in for Kevin this morning, well, yeah, maybe. But we're so happy to have him here and lead us off with a song this morning. Start of a new month means the start of a new theme. For January, we will be exploring the gift of liberating love. Again, perhaps a moment, because it somehow seems less obvious or intuitive than many of our monthly themes. Those of you who joined us to brainstorm this theme may remember that it took a bit before the ideas started flowing. As the month progresses, we'll be examining liberating love through several different lenses, including our individual selves, the UUCM community, and the wider social arena in which we live. Since February is also the birthday month of Dr. Martin Luther King, you will find some of his thinking woven into our reflections as well. I want to acknowledge and thank Tracy for creating today's service. She found the readings and will gift us by delivering the sermon. Kevin and Toby, as always, found music to support and expand the words. And you, in your presence and your participation, are the most important of all. I'm going to channel Kevin for a minute here and ask for an indication of how you're feeling. At the start of this new year, how is it with your spirit? Give a thumbs up or a thumbs down or sideways. Take a look around. Okay, quite a range. And that's fine. All are welcome here. Whether you're feeling hopeful and curious, discouraged and worried, or somewhere in between, I am so glad you came. Welcome. Our opening words this morning, "You are beloved and you are welcome here," by the Reverend Joan Xavier Duval. You are beloved and you are welcome here.
Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth,
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful,
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
whether you have untold stories deep inside or stories that have been forced beyond the edge of comfort,
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
whether you have made promises, broken promises, or are renewing your promises,
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
whatever is on your heart, however it is with your soul at this moment,
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
in this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, let us worship together.
I invite us to sing again together this song born of the experience of enslaved Black people in the United States. Here at the edge of the new year, the day after January 6th, let's sing of more love, more hope, more peace, more joy somewhere, ideally starting right here. I invite you to again rise in body or in spirit and to sing.
Good morning. Love is the core value of Unitarian Universalism. And at this church, UUCM, we show our love through the work we do for social justice, and we show it to each other in day-to-day activities and interactions. We also have rituals that signify our commitment to this love. One of these is when we share our joys and sorrows by placing pebbles in a bowl of water. In this ritual, the stones represent joys and sorrows we carry with us, and the water represents this community and the way we carry those concerns. As a member of this faith community, know that you are not alone. The world is heavy with sorrow, and you may feel dragged down today with the burdens of this world, or you may be bursting with joy, for the world has much to be joyful about as well. More likely, you are some combination of both. Whatever mix you carry with you today, may you feel safe and welcoming, and in this container that we as a community try to create. When the music begins, you are invited to come forward and choose a stone to represent what you are carrying today and drop it into the bowl of water in this ritual of community sharing and love. Those on Zoom, please feel free to type into the chat any joys and sorrows you wish to share.
The Home That Love Made by Reverend Amanda Pope. This is the home love made. It is full of the love that the founders felt when they planned out these walls and raised these beams above us. This is the home that love made. It is full of the love of all who have worshiped here, those who have celebrated and grieved here, the babies dedicated, the couples married, and family members who mourned here. This is the home that love made. It is full of the love of our children as they learn and laugh together, and of our youth as they grow into their sense of purpose and meaning. This is the home that love made. It is full of the love of the staff who have served it, full of their hopes for this congregation, their hard work, and their acts of dedication. This is the home that love made. It is full of the love of the choir that love made so clear in their voices, lifted here on Sunday mornings. This is the home that love made. It is full of our love, the love of our community, despite our differences and our disagreements, the love that holds us together as a people. This is the home that love made. Can you feel it? May the love be with us always. Amen.
is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tracy Pepper, and it is my honor to read for you a sermon that was given by a UU Reverend Lori Stevens. She begins her sermon like this. I'd like to preface this by saying that you're going to hear me talk a lot about God and Christianity today. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism or this congregation, I'll note that that's something that's somewhat unusual. We're exploring the way that our religious ancestors understood the world, but I am neither discouraging or encouraging anything about your relationship with God or gods or the universe. Many UU congregations like to talk a lot about capital L love, and that originally meant God's love. But what love are we talking about when God has come to mean something different to many folks? Back in the day in Christian Europe, there was this idea that wealth supposedly signaled goodness and God's love. Poverty signaled that you must have done something wrong and that you were going to hell. But poor people thought that this didn't make sense, especially because it was coming from the wealthy people. And the wealthy merchants paid the priests, and the priests blessed the kings, and the kings protected the merchants, and almost all of these were men. All these powerful dudes agreed that they had power because God had chosen them and loved them, and that must mean that they were good. So if you weren't powerful, that must mean that you were bad, or that you were stupid, or that you were weak, or that you deserved what you got. This is called theocracy. You won't be surprised to hear that the poor, the ill, the orphaned, and many women and people who weren't ethnically European didn't really resonate with that idea. The poor folks in particular started to think, what if wealth and poverty didn't have anything to do with God choosing to love and bless only a few people? What if God loved everyone? These folks thought, yeah, maybe life isn't fair, but after we die, we'll all get to be with God together in heaven. That's called Christian universalism. It made a lot of powerful people mad. However, this Christian universalist idea that we'll all be included in heaven, even if you made a big muddy mess and made other people clean it up, women, among others, weren't very satisfied with that. Now we're in early America, a couple of hundred or so years ago. Some universalists, including a lot of women, thought that it wasn't fair if God included people in heaven, even if they had done really awful things. So some universalists thought maybe after death, there's a place called purgatory, kind of like afterlife detention, where people had done bad things and they can go and sort of sit and think about it for a while. They didn't get punished, they got restored, like a bath for your muddy soul. These folks thought God includes everyone in love and makes things fair in the afterlife. They called that restoration universalism. That's a bit more fair, right? The one teeny tiny problem is that all that fairness happens after death. Who in early America might not be satisfied living their whole lives under the thumb of really cruel people in the harshest conditions imaginable, just hoping it all gets sorted out after they kick the bucket. Folks who were enslaved didn't like that idea very much. Now we're up to the last 100 years or so. Black folks in America had struggled for freedom, had been emancipated, but things were still rigged to be really unfair towards them. Universalism, the idea that everyone is included, wasn't really catching on with Black folks. It was nice, but it wasn't fair. There is a notable Black Universalist history, such as Reverend Joseph Jordan and his daughter Annie Willis. They created a Universalist school for Black children in Virginia. The larger faith support of the Jordan school was, you guessed it, a little unfair. They kept trying to get them to change the school or put a white guy from Boston in charge or pulling funding for it. Even so, the Jordan school kept it going for 70 years. But for most Black Americans, universalism never really caught on. It didn't address their or my lived reality. Black and brown folks heard all of this Christian talk about God and the afterlife and asked, aren't y'all forgetting about somebody? In South America and in Black America in the 1960s, Christians began highlighting that God squeezed God's self into a human named Jesus. Jesus was born in a barn, dirt poor. He hung out with foreigners and sex workers and lowly Roman bureaucrats that even his friends hated. Jesus was Jewish under the oppressive Roman Empire. Jesus was unjustly killed by that empire. In the Christian understanding, God experienced all of that. So these folks, like the Peruvian priest Gustavo Gutierrez and the Black American theologian James Cone, thought, God may love everyone, but God prioritizes those who are poor and imprisoned and displaced and in despair, because God has felt all that, and in some people's worldview, continues to feel every ounce of suffering humanity does. To those folks, that's what it means that God loves us all, that God is on the side of the oppressed. So we should all work to change things until no one is oppressed anymore. That's called liberation theology. That brings us to the present day. Today, Unitarian Universalists say that though our individual beliefs vary widely, together we side with love. That's similar to the liberation theologians. We affirm that every person, from the privileged to the oppressed, has worth and dignity. Everything from the harmed to the harmful is connected to the interdependent web of being. But Unitarian Universalists side with those who are oppressed and hurting to work for change until we are all free. The Black feminist author Bell Hooks tells us there is no love without justice. Inclusion isn't enough. We need to work for restorative justice on earth. We need to pitch in and wash what we make muddy. That's love in action. Love lives in the souls and bodies of people who are harmed or excluded. Love lives in the souls and bodies of those who harm or exclude. Love lives in the souls and bodies of people who witness harm and do nothing to change it. Each of us has been harmed and caused harm and ignored harm. Some only feel those pains occasionally. Some are only free from those pains occasionally. When someone causes harm or ignores harm or has to bury their heart to get through the pains of life, that separation requires we cut our souls off from the connectedness of all of life. It requires that we forget what we truly are. That illusion of separateness hurts on the deepest, most divine level in ourselves. Yet, when we take actions that are aligned with love and justice, we remember who and what we truly are, facets of the holy oneness. When we side with love, we go beyond inclusion and we work for justice. We remember that our liberation is bound up together and that we aren't free until we're all free. Let us feel honored and undaunted at the sacred, liberating universalist work still to be done. May it be so.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Each week, we take an offering which supports the work of this church and also that of a local nonprofit that shares our values. This month, our community partner is Sierra Roots, and here to tell us about their mission and their work is Nick Wilczek.
Hi, good morning. My name is Nick Wilczek. I am a board member with Sierra Roots. I am also the library director for Nevada County. And those two things are kind of closely related in that I am privileged to be able to serve people throughout the county and folks that can be struggling a little bit. So Sierra Roots is a nonprofit, and we really focus on building relationships with homeless folks throughout the community. And in terms of tangible things we do, we provide a free lunch every Thursday. That's a free, healthy, hot lunch. We also contract with, I just figured out this step. Hold on, I can get a little closer here. We also contract with the county to operate the overnight cold weather shelter for the county. And as a matter of fact, last night was the first time we had activated for the year. And I always think in the morning when I go outside how much I hate the 20 feet from my house to my car when it's cold. And it always is a reminder of perspective on the thing. I oftentimes give kind of a factual, boring little story when I do this, but this liberation of love thing has been needed for me today. And it reminds me that ultimately the work Sierra Roots is doing is this work that this organization is doing, that so much of us are doing in the community of really trying to liberate love. And I just want to tell a story, and I certainly don't mean to make this about me, but I am involved in it. So, I mean, that's part of it. But I think it really kind of typifies the work that Sierra Roots is doing and the kind of things that are a little harder to quantify. So there are folks that sometimes sleep outside the library. I get there very early And there are times that I kind of walk around just to see how folks are doing, times to see if people are alive. It's very real, the work that we're doing. And I'd say I'm friends with quite a few of the people that I see out there on a regular basis. And so a few weeks ago, went out and checked on a friend of mine, and he was doing all right, and that he had made it through the night. It was very, very cold. And, sometimes you can ask someone how they're doing, and they'll say they're fine. And you can say, yeah, that's great. How you really doing? And he was not doing okay. And he started tearing up and basically told me that he was incredibly exhausted of feeling like he's not good enough or that he's a constant disappointment to people. And it was this really beautiful moment of being able to say, that's interesting because I feel that exact same way right now. And we had this really beautiful moment of both crying, giving each other a hug, and just having this really beautiful moment of really liberating the love that I think we both had, and how dangerous that can be to do sometimes, and how incredibly scary it can be to do sometimes. And it's this really beautiful moment. And one of the things that really put me in check about it too is that I am good with homeless folks. Don't feel uncomfortable, none of that. Really, some of my favorite folks that I work with on a pretty regular basis. And I had this moment of, I might get my shirt dirty if I hug this guy right now. And I was so ashamed of myself afterwards, like how fear-based and really pretty awful is that. So all of that is to say, Sierra Roots is about building these relationships, kind of liberating the love we have. And even as someone who I thought was pretty good at that, I was nervous about getting my shirt dirty. And just that we should check in with each other and check in with ourselves and really do what we can to take care of one another. So that's the story. Apologize, I think I might have been over 2 minutes. I apologize for that. But really, thank you for the time. And this has really been a gift for me to be here. And thank you so very much. I hope everyone has a really wonderful start to the new year. Thank you.
I guess I need the step, believe it or not. Thank you, Nick. That was great. Okay, let's see. We're ready for the slide, I think, to tell. Yeah, the slide will tell you. We're going to be passing the basket as usual, but the slide will tell you other ways to donate. Oh, and if you want, I've forgotten my script. 25% of our offering will go to Sierra Roots, and if you would like 100% of your donation, place it in the white envelope in the collection basket. Thank you for your generosity and your compassion. As Tracy told us so eloquently, siding with love is not passive. It's not really love unless we put it to work. We dedicate these gifts to helping all to have what they need to survive and to thrive. Thank you. Oh, many people to thank this morning. My co-associates, which was wonderful to work with them. Tom, of course, for his thoughtful words, Jim for reading, Toby and Kevin for the music, our AV team back there, Paul and Cypress, and Eileen on chat, Linda for the beautiful setting, Gwen and Jean for ushering, and Beth for refreshments, and Linda and Cheryl for the, for the kids upstairs. All right, today's your chance, UU 101 at 12 o'clock. A chance to learn more about UU and UUCM. Women's Circle is eating as usual. We have a potluck. We do a lot of eating in this group. And we'll be planning activities, and the Spirituality Sharing Circle, which is really a lovely sharing and silence and sharing together, coming up on Saturday. And more eating, the youngish adult brunch and hangout next Sunday. And of course, always check the website for all things happening at UUCM.
Years ago, I was talking to Sally Rogers and about this song that's in our hymn book, Love Will Guide Us, and the hymn book left out a verse, and she said she was always sad that our hymn book left out that verse, so we include it when we sing. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to sing Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from green to living. Love will guide us through the hard night. You are like no other being. What you can give, no other can give. To the future of our precious children. To the future of the world where we live. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from green to living. Love will guide us through the hard
Now may the love of truth guide you,
The warmth of love hold you
and the spirit of peace bless you.
this day and in the days to come, as we carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. So I'd like to invite you all to stay for refreshments in the back room and have a moment of community together.
And we'll see you next Sunday. Falling forward, shining with integrity next week.
Thank you.